All right. Still a nation. I don't even know what to say, man. And I'm just going to try to sum it up really quick. And welcome to everybody else who might be watching that's not a part of Still a Nation. But I got to speak directly to Still a Nation on this one. Listen, I'm going to do some shameless plug real quick. Right there. Right here. Terrible Towel Tuesday. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I will talk more about this. I will have my buddy Kenyon on with me, and we'll break it down. We'll give you our thoughts, what we think it means, and looking at the outlook of the future. You know what I mean? So, but right now, let me just give you my initial reaction to hearing the news that most of you already know by now, and I'm going to give it to you the way that I heard it. The Pittsburgh Steelers have traded for Jalen Ramsey, who's now being listed as cornerback/safety. That's important. Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers have traded for Jalen Ramsey. Then I found out what the compensation was. The first part. Because this trade was coming in pieces. It says the Steelers have traded Minkah Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey. Yes, you heard me correctly. Minkah Fitzpatrick has been traded to the Miami Dolphins for Jalen Ramsey. Then we got a little more details about the trade, and I'll get to that in here in a moment. But here are my initial reactions to this, man. Just this past Tuesday on Terrible Towel Tuesday, I talked about the rumor of the Steelers trading for Jalen Ramsey, and I was trying to understand where it would fit, right? Let me explain what I mean. I am a Jalen Ramsey fan. You know why? Because I am a Seminoles fan. I love Florida State. That is my college squad. I'm the Nole to the soul, right? So I know about all of Florida State's players, and I follow them through their career, and I always root for those guys, regardless of what team they're on. However, I wasn't quite sure about trading for Jalen Ramsey because Jalen Ramsey is older now in terms of cornerback. I might as well say quarterback, right? Because we have an old quarterback as well in Aaron Rodgers. But he's older now. He's 30. Right? If I'm not mistaken, he's 30 years old. You guys can fact check that. And I don't know if he turned 30 or if he'll be turning 31. I don't know. I just know right now, if I'm not mistaken, he's 30 years old, which is a little older. Now, we've seen this before. We acquired Joe Hayden when Joe Hayden was 28, 29, right? And Joe Hayden played some good football for us. But there's only one catch. What I said on Tuesday was we already have Darius Slay. That is the older veteran who's 33 years of age. And I'm thinking, okay, you're going to pair Joey Porter Jr. with a veteran. Good. Maybe he'll help him out. He said as much already. He's going to try to do what he can to help out Joey Porter Jr., bring him along. Maybe he can help him to not be as handsy and reduce his penalties. Great. But because of that reason, that's why I didn't think the Steelers would go out and trade for another older veteran, right? Because now who's going to be the number two? Is it Jalen Ramsey or is it going to be Darius Slay? So what is the conversation between those guys? What have you informed them? But now they're talking about Jalen Ramsey and they're mentioning corner/safety. So are we saying that is Jalen Ramsey going to be playing safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Who's going to be free safety now? Deshaun Elliott just got extended. Happy about that. But Deshaun Elliott plays strong safety. I think he's capable of playing the free, playing the post safety. However, he earned his money as a strong safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So either way you look at this, we have a hole at safety. And we have no answers at this moment. So I'm not going to overreact, but we have no answers at this moment. Who the free safety will be, what's the plan there, and we don't know which guy is going to play opposite Joey Porter Jr. Some would say, well, it's going to be Ramsey. Okay, maybe because of the price tag, but also you went out and signed a free agent in Darius Slay. So a lot of times when you sign guys in those positions, you're signing them to play, right? So this is going to be interesting to see how they sort it out. I also said on Tuesday, I wouldn't imagine that one of those two gentlemen would be playing the slot. So I was trying to find a reason as to have both of them on the squad. And I said, maybe if they're looking to get better when they're in dime and you get better talent on the field in dime, you can get more corners out there. And maybe that's the plan. I don't know. But I'm going to say this is very shocking. I am surprised beyond surprise that we're talking about Jalen Ramsey traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Let's not lose that part. The Steelers let Minkah Fitzpatrick go to acquire Jalen Ramsey. And according to Jeremy Fowler, again, these are sources and rumors or what have you. According to Jeremy Fowler, this has been talk for the last few months. There's been whispers, using his words, of a trade of Minkah Fitzpatrick. Now, I know some of you guys don't care. Some of y'all would say Minkah was trash and all of that. And I strongly beg to differ. I think if you really watch the intricate details of the game and you take just interceptions off the table, you would understand how important Minkah Fitzpatrick has been for the Steelers in these last couple seasons. With the run game and everything else, playing that post position, we're going to see a hit unless we are able to replace that production with somebody. You're going to see the difference, in my opinion, of him not being back there. Don't take that lightly. Do they have time to recover in training camp or whoever they're going to put back there? Sure. But do not take it lightly that Minkah Fitzpatrick is no longer going to be a part of this Pittsburgh defense. And you fooling yourselves if you're thinking that, oh, this is not that bad. Yeah, okay. It's got to be proven to me. It's got to be proven to me that it will be good or better without Minkah. But then there's another little reward that comes along with the trade. You know, as far as draft pick compensation, nothing really to talk about there. The Steelers will have given away a 5th round 2027 pick, and they'll be acquiring a 7th round 2027. So nothing to talk about there. However, Jonnu Smith has also been included in this deal. Now, this is an interesting one because if you guys remember, if you've been watching the channel, man, and thank y'all for doing that. But in case you're new, I talked about Jonnu Smith a few weeks back when there was rumors about him and the Steelers trading for him. And I talked about, hey, I'm cool with this because of his style of play, the type of tight end he is, if I'm doing quote fingers because at that time we didn't know. I said, if the Steelers' plan is to bring in Aaron Rodgers, I like pairing him with a guy like Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth. Now that we know Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback for year 2025, I have no beef, zero beef with adding a guy like Jonnu Smith because of his style of play at tight end, his style of tight end / receiver like. Yes, Aaron Rodgers will have fun with him and Pat Freiermuth. And it allows you to be able to play that 12 personnel that Arthur Smith wants to run. Aaron Rodgers has played in 12 personnel and is very comfortable with doing it. So now you got DK and Jonnu and Freiermuth and whoever is playing the Z, whether it's Calvin Austin, whether it's Roman Wilson, whether it's Robert Woods in some scenarios. Now we're a little more potent and you get kids like Caleb Johnson back there and Jalen Warren. Okay, now it's starting to come into fold a little bit. I like that. I love the addition of Jonnu Smith. Again, go look at the highlights. I don't know how great of a blocker he is. I'm just talking about from what I've seen from him as a receiving tight end with his, his agility and speed and, again, the style of play. I like that in this offense. So there is something to be a little happy about. But I just can't figure out the Minkah thing. And again, maybe Minkah wanted to be traded. Who knows? Just can't figure that one out, man. But I have to believe that the Steelers have some type of plan. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know more than the organization. It's just one of these. It's a head scratcher. and they're gonna have to make me understand it and make me believe why this was the best thing to do at this time. Whether it was financials, which I don't think that, just looking at the swaps. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But thought I would just come on real quick, man, and give my quick knee-jerk reaction to it. And make sure you tune in tomorrow, guys. Terrible Towel Tuesday, where I will be live. My good brother Kenyon would be on with me. We will chop it up. And also the chat will be wide open so you guys can ask questions, be pissed off, be happy, be sad, be glad, whatever. And we'll get to it. But before we go, man, I got to remind you guys, hey, if you're new here or not, if you like what you saw, make sure you hit that like button. But more importantly, consider subscribing to the channel as well. And last but not least, man, cut on those notifications so therefore you know when videos like these are up and or streams are live. But until then, get busy in the comments. I want to hear and read you guys' thoughts. It's always good to do that. I love to see different perspectives and, get the little temperature on the fan base and see how y'all feel. All right, man. Until tomorrow, I will see you guys then. And let this sit in and we'll discuss it. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace.